First of all, thank you for watching my video. My name is Victor Rivera, and today I'm going to be talking about interacting in teams and groups. I'm going to be your detective today, and I'm going to be conducting an investigation. And in this investigation, I'm going to be talking about how we should lead our groups and teams. It's important to understand that a group is 3 or more people interacting and communicating interpersonally over time to reach a goal. There are also many dimensions of our understanding. One of those dimensions being that if you don't have a purpose as a group, then you're not going to be on the right road and the right path to succeed as a group. There's many different structures of groups. It can range from, normal structures. You could have a group of, group members in a group project working together equally, or you can have hierarchical structures such as this, where you go from the president to staff and committee members. Also in my investigation, I found out that timing in groups is extremely important, and it varies from group to group. There's groups such as fraternities, and they're meant to go on forever. And there's also groups such as let's say group project groups. They get together for a couple of weeks to work on something, and they're done. You have to understand that groups are not always the same. They're very different. There's also different stages of group development. And in this diagram was created by Bruce Wayne Tuckman. Not Batman, but Bruce Wayne Tuckman. This was done in 1965. And the stages of group development are forming, storming, norming, performing, and adjourning. In the forming stage, that's the initial stage of group development. And in this stage, really everybody gets together. They come up with a common purpose and goal. And people start really, getting close together and understanding each other. In the storming stage, people further their understanding through really getting together and getting to know each other's points of views. The storming stage can be one of the most debilitating, and it can also be one of the accelerating moments of a group. This is when you find out, whether you're going to be butting heads a lot or if you're going to work together very well. The norming stage and the performing stage are very similar, and that people really start getting together to perform, to come up with ideas. The norming comes up with ideas, so how are you going to succeed? And then the performing stage basically talks about, how the group reacts to certain things that happen, whether they come up with new processes, new goals. The performing stage really, it's basically like the wheels that make the engine run. And sometimes there's also the adjourning stage. This was actually added on in the book, I believe. And in the adjourning stage, basically leaders get together and they decide, okay, let's celebrate our achievements and accomplishments, or we can understand that our group didn't do well at all, and if there's a sense of loss at all. And these are the stages of group development. It's also important that there's many dynamics in groups, such as group roles and group building roles. And these group dynamics, study the group's life and how the group makes decisions, handles conflict, and meets its leadership needs. Basically, group roles are very different from group building roles, in that group roles are basically people that get the group going, and group building roles are roles that basically motivate, are motivational factors for groups. And one thing that I thought was very interesting was Robert's Rule of Order, which was written by Brigadier General Henry Martin Robert. And this book, the Rules of Order, were intended to be adopted as a parliamentary authority for use in deliberative assemblies. It's very interesting that it's actually being used in a lot of student organizations here on campus in St. Pete and in Tampa. That's very important. That's a great book. And this also identifies the hierarchy in groups, such as from the president to treasurer to other group members, and why they need it, and when they should be able to speak in a meeting. And it's also very important to understand that there's also a lot of creative conflict, and there's a lot of conflict in groups. And people look at conflict in many different meanings and definitions. Conflict can be something good, and conflict can be something great. There's also, like I just said, there's many advantages and liabilities of conflict. Several bad things about conflict is that it can be debilitating to a group, and it can really exaggerate what's really going on, and it gets you off the page from your goal. But several good things about your conflict is that there can be more self-awareness. You can learn more about yourself, and you can be a better leader. And advantages of conflict is that actually can help move the group ahead. So let's say you get over something, you improve your group, and you just move ahead with that newfound confidence. And one of my favorite quotes from the book, it says, "Find the truth in what you oppose, find the fault in what you expose." Basically, it's if you find out what you disagree with, and you really think about it, and you find good things from it, that's great. That's what self-awareness is all about. Finding the fault in what you agree in. Let's say you believe that this is a tough issue, but let's say abortion. Let's say you think abortion is right. So if you look at the other view and you really understand, you find things that you actually can agree with. That's what conflict is all about, and really reaching consensus in conflicts. Group decision making is also very important, and I really like the relational leadership model. Basically, this leadership model shows how having a purpose in a group is extremely important, and including others, being inclusive. Also, you want to empower others, so you want people to act. You want to see people do great things for your group. And you also want to do things right. You want to make it ethical. So at the end, when you include these things, you can have a process-driven model and a process-driven group that's going to, just do great things. And this is the relational leadership model. There are also many methods of decision making. And upon my investigation as a detective, I found out that there's many different ways people make decisions in groups. Decision making can be done by authority without discussion with members. It can be done by an expert member with great expertise that maybe could have been outsourced from somewhere. There's also average member opinions. So people with good knowledge, people get together and they make an opinion together. There's also decisions by authority after discussion. So after something's discussed, an authority might make a decision, and at the end of the day, it might not be the right decision or the decision that was agreed upon. And there's also majority control. And in majority control, basically, it's the majority that really gets their votes counted. And basically, that's how you make decisions. But at the end of the day, we all want to reach consensus. And when we reach consensus, that basically means that everybody has gotten their view across. We've had adequate time to get it done. We've clearly defined the issues we've faced. And we've avoid conflict. You avoid conflict by not being strong in what you really believe in. You avoid conflict and being understanding of others, and avoiding that bad conflict within a conflict is extremely important. You want to make sure that you have positive strides towards reaching a consensus, and that's what will make you a great leader. Teams are very important. A team is a group of people with a high degree of interdependence geared towards the achievement of a goal or the completion of a task. There's functional teams where basically it's a hierarchy where you basically a team such as let's say you're a manager. You have when I worked at Universal, there was managers, there's team leaders, and staff members. That's a functional team. There's also self-directed team, and self-directed teams are very interesting. Self-directed teams can be from like a college football team where the coach gives his message to the players, and the players, do what they do with that information. And there's also cross-functional teams. And cross-functional teams basically get people from different departments, and they work together towards a goal. For example, cross-functional teams can be from people from Nike, where they have people from two different departments work together to get a new product out. And leaders do not always have to be the ones in charge. That's one of my. I really like that quote because that's empowering to others. It shouldn't be just the leaders making decisions. It should be everybody that's involved making decisions in a team. And teams must have clear goals to achieve success. That's extremely important. If you don't have a goal as a team, then where are you going to go? Smart teams make specific goals. Smart teams make measurable goals. So is it a quantifiable goal? Smart teams also make achievable goals. Is it possible to achieve it? You also make relevant goals. Is everybody on the same page to achieve that goal? And goals are made on a time base. Are we going to do it in 1 year? Are we going to do it tonight? Are we going to do it in a few days? Everything is done in its own time. And here's my recipe for team leadership. Leaders should have clear goals, competent team members, a result-driven structure that makes sure everybody, is on the same page and can have great results. A collaborative climate where people can get together and work on issues. A unified commitment towards a goal where everybody's on the same page to reach that goal. Standards of excellence, which basically puts responsibilities on people to meet their goals. You also want to have principled leadership, have people such as a captain that would make sure everybody's doing what they need to do. And you also might want to have external support, whether it's money or mentors or people that can help you, outside to succeed. And this is my investigation of team and group leadership. And I really want to extend a big thank you for watching. This is Detective Victor Rivera, and you have a great day.